of 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. 2 Corinthians, 12th chapter. Second Corinthians, 12th chapter. We're going to start reading at the 7th verse. 2 Corinthians, 12th chapter, 7th verse. Once you have it, say amen. Amen. 2 Corinthians 12th chapter, 7th verse. It reads, "And lest I should be exalted above measure by the abundance of the revelations, a thorn in the flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I be exalted above measure. Yes. Concerning this thing, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it might depart from me. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly, I would rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecutions, in distress, for Christ's sake. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong." You may be seated. For when I'm weak, then I'm strong. From the 2 Corinthians 12th chapter, 7th to 10th verse, very briefly, I want to talk on the subject of when it hurts. When it hurts. Family, there's always been a question that almost many of us have questioned before. That is suffering always going to be a part of being a follower of Christ. Amen. The Bible talks a lot about suffering for the sake of Christ. And in the era of this New Testament, when it was written, followers of Jesus were often ignored by their own families and their communities. Some of the worst persecution came from the religious leaders. Jesus told his followers, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. For there is a kingdom of heaven." And also reminding his disciples that if the world hates you, then keep in mind that they hated me first. Jesus stated clearly what it means to follow him, saying, "Whoever wants to be my disciples, they must first deny themselves, take up their cross daily, take up their cross daily, and follow me. For whoever wants to be saved, whoever wants to save their own life, will lose it. But whoever loses their life for the sake of Christ will save their own life." Suffering and pain comes in all shapes and forms. Whether it's physical, mental, emotional, psychological, we all go through some type of pain. Well, whether it's pain is physical, mental, emotional, or psychological, we all go through pain in those areas. But why? It's why because is the product of the fall. Suffering is in our lives because we are living in a broken world. And don't get me wrong, some sufferings are activated from our own choices. But some is simply from the world being broken. But family, there's nothing that is so broken or unusable by God. There's nothing that's broken that God is not able to use. When it hurts. Nobody is a fan of pain. Nobody is. Medically, we understand that pain is really a gift. It's a gift because without it, we wouldn't know that we need medical attention. Without pain, we wouldn't know that we needed medical attention. Without pain, children would know not to touch that hot stove. Without pain, none of us would ever learn to get down on our knees and cry out, Lord, I need thee. And don't let nobody fool you. We all are hurt. And that's why we're in here today, is to get some help. The church house is a hospital for the broken. In the time that we live in now, the church house ought to be full. There are many that are out there lost and hurt. Hurting so that they even picking up the knives, they pulling the triggers. They're hurting. Not only to hurt others, but they're hurting themselves. In our part as Christians, as leaders of the community, we must reach those where they are. They're hurting. We're hurting. And if it wasn't for God's grace and His mercy, some of us could have pulled the trigger. Oh, you may not like it, but I'm going to tell you what's real. I thank God for keeping my mind, even though it hurts. As the day approaches, time to count as I take on being a part, being your pastor. Amen. Being a leader, shepherd, to souls whom God Himself put me in charge of. Ever since I was a child. Take your time. Yes. Take your time. Oh, yes. Take your time. Great, Rev. Yes. I had visions of me preaching. Yes. And in those visions, I never could see the crowd. Never could see the particular pulpit I was in. The only thing I saw was me witnessing the Word of God. In December of 2017, I preached my first sermon. And from then until now, God has blessed me and my family. God has blessed me and my family. And even in the midst of being blessed, there's also pain. It's also pain that I still endure. There's some trials and tribulations that almost made me throw in the towel. Early in my ministry, I didn't understand. I didn't understand why so much pain came from being set aside and chosen. I didn't understand why people would do me the way they do me. I didn't understand why that my own folks were trying to tear me down. I didn't understand being lied on, talked about. The pain. I don't bother nobody. I always stay to myself. I don't inject myself in other folks' business. So why, Lord, why? This is so painful. I didn't understand it then. But now, as the pain still lingers, but now as I keep my eyes stayed on Jesus, now I can stand here today and testify that even though it hurts, my God specializes in the impossible. If it wasn't so, I wouldn't be standing here today. Family, I came today to let you know that even in your darkest moment, when the enemy is all around, when your back is against the wall, when all your friends and family don't want nothing to do with you, don't worry about it. Just take it to God. When the storms come and never seem to cease, take it to God. Don't give up. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. My mom, rest her soul, after I started in this ministry, whenever she spoke to me or saw me, before leaving or hanging up the phone, she would tell me to hold on. Hold on to that plan, which is Jesus. Every time she wouldn't miss a beat. And if she did forget, she would go call somebody. So get that message to me. I didn't understand it then. But now later I realized that she saw the pain. And she kept reminding me to hold on. She knew and saw things that I couldn't see. And still to this day, I still hear, hold on. And that's what we all need to do, is just hold on. And sometimes it may seem like our grip is going to slip, but hold on. Folks sit and watch and waiting on you to fall. But hold on. I didn't understand it. And maybe there's somebody here who is in pain. But I'd like to let you know that when you feel the pain, count it all joy. Because when God takes you through, David said, yea, though I walk through the valley, meaning you're not staying in the valley, but while you're going through, God is taking you through, and while He's taking you through, those who are stuck in the valley is going to see that you came out, it was nobody but God. I'm not in the valley to entertain nobody. I went in the valley to carry on a conversation, but I'm walking through it. And I declare and decree that you're not going to stay in your valley either, because you're coming out. You shall fear no evil. Why? Because the God Almighty is with you. His rod and his staff, they comfort you. So don't worry about the pain. This too shall pass. Oh, somebody will tell you now it hurts, but I'm coming out. Oh, there are many that's done with being mistreated. Say, I'm done with being called everything but a child of God. I'm done. I know my worth. I'm the head. I'm not the tail. I'm the lender, not the borrower. I'm coming out. It's painful, but we're coming out, you know. When we look at the life of Paul, born by the name of Saul. Saul was a ruthless individual. Saul was determined to eliminate Christians. He believed that he was acting in the name of God.
Yes, he did. That's right.
And truth be told, there is no one more frightening or more vicious than a religious terrorist.
That's right.
Especially when he believes that he's doing the will of God by killing innocent people. This is exactly what Saul of Tarsus was, a religious terrorist. Going to house, dragging men and women, and putting them in prison. But with all of what Saul had going on, God chose Saul. He didn't choose Paul, but he chose Saul. Did you hear what I said? He didn't choose Paul. They're the same person, but he didn't choose Paul. But he chose Saul. He didn't choose Paul to carry out his mission. He chose the one who persecuted the church. There were many that were scared to go around. There were many that couldn't understand why God chose who he chose. Knowing what he used to do. Oh, that's the world that we live in. Those who can't see the hands of God will be the ones that need, that be the ones that say, oh, he don't need to be in the pulpit. Oh, he don't need to be the pastor. Because I know what he used to be. But I got news for all y'all. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call. After Saul was converted, nobody could believe his testimony. But thank God for Ananias. God always got somebody to carry out his will. Ananias laid hands on him and baptized him. Just look at the life of Paul, y'all. Or just looking back over your life. And I know just looking at this and looking back over my life, I know myself, I'm a living witness that if he can change me, he can do the same for you. You don't have to be broken all your life. Because when the pain hits you, it will make you run to the rock. It will push you down on your knees. Oh, that's what pain will do. You can't go to Piedmont with this kind of pain. You can't get that from Walgreens with this kind of pain. All you can do is say, Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. It hurts. Oh, he may not take the pain away then. But he sure knows how to ease the pain so you can endure it. Oh, he'll make it easy for you so you can endure it. If you don't believe it, just look at Paul. Paul said, I pleaded. Paul repeatedly prayed. Paul said, I pleaded 3 times.
Yes, he did.
This pain in his flesh. And I can imagine that we prayed the first time. Paul probably thought, this pain, this is no problem. I'll just give it to the Lord in prayer. But nothing happened when he prayed the first time. And I can imagine him saying, oh, this may be a tough one. So he prayed again. And when nothing happened after that, he prayed to God the third time. And after that, I imagine Paul knew right then that God was trying to tell him something. I know a lot of you here today that probably feel like Paul felt. Praying day in and day out. Praying to God about your problems. And it seems like God is not listening. And I don't know about you, but it may seem like you're just all alone by yourself and the doctor don't know what's wrong with you. Doctor can't tell you what's going on and how to fix your problem. And all you feel like is giving up. You may feel like giving up. But hold on. Because God, Jehovah Rapha, knows all about your problem, but way before you even ask. What a mighty God we serve. A God that knows all about our needs. But when God says no, when God says it's not time, when God says no to healing your pain that you've been dealing with for a long time, when he says no, then what message is he trying to get you to see? What message is he trying to get you to see if he wants you to have this certain pain? Everyone in this room prays to God for one thing or another. Praying for change in life. Praying for healing. Praying for consolation in the darkness of your hours. And yet nothing seems to happen. Maybe it's been days, been months, been years. The pain is still there. You've been praying and you've been praying. And yet it still hurts. You felt like God is not listening. You felt like God don't seem to care. But family, I'd like to let you know that we must all hold on to God's unchanging hand. Because God said, my grace is sufficient. My grace will carry you through. Do I have a witness in here? God's grace is sufficient. Because when you look back over your life, after all that you've been through, you can testify that I made it, and it was by the grace of God. I don't know about you, but I know it was God and his grace that has kept me through the storm and the rain. So when it hurts, God said, just lean towards grace. When the doctors have given you up, just lean towards grace. When the doctor says all right, and you know it's not all right, and God's got the final say, y'all, just lean toward his grace. When your money is strange and the bills are due, y'all, just lean toward his grace. Towards his grace is where I'm leaning toward. Because the road is not easy. Because God is a wonderful. He knows, y'all, all about my problems. And I'm so glad that he knows. They wonder how I got here. They wonder why I'm still here. But if it was for God's grace, I'd have made it this far. If it wasn't for God's grace, I would have made it this far. And I thank God today. And you ought to thank God today for keeping you. Thank God for bringing you this far. Is there anybody here that knew it was God's grace that said you weren't going to make it? But look at you now. You were brought for the Christ. God has brought you through the dark days, through the dark hour, into a marvelous light. Did he bring you out? Did bring him out. Say yeah. Say yeah. Oh, God will take care of you. He will take care of you. All we need to do is lean on his grace. And he will direct your path. I'm reminded of a man who had to endure such pain. So much pain that anyone could imagine. This preacher, y'all, was lied on, talked about, mistreated, spat on, hanged on a whole wooden cross, with nails in his hands, nails in his feet, pierced in his side until blood came streaming down. Oh, well, I got a witness here. This man could have came down any time, but he stayed there. He stayed there for you and I. And I'm so glad, that he trusted his Father. He died, but he did stay there. Because early Sunday morning, the pain of the world was given unto him. Because he said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. He rose with all power in his hand. Healing power, saving power. Do you know it? Have you tried it? Will he make a way for it? Oh, when it hurts. When it hurts. He was crucified in weakness, but yet he lives. By the power of God, we all are weak in him, but we shall live with him by the power of Almighty God. Ain't that good news? Ain't that good news?